Hello, hello. What is morning this afternoon? And I want to say you are welcome to yet another episode. You're welcome to be esteemed with Boss Lady. I'm so much delighted and to be in on your screen at this time. Oh, let me have myself put together. How are you, family? How are you, friends? How are you, uh, colleagues? This is 12 year where I am right now. This is 12. And I want to use this time to welcome you. My name is Bosede Adetuji, a life and leadership coach and the convener of the Teams with Bosede. And by the grace of God, today marks the weekend. We want to thank God for the grace He has given unto us to see the end of another week. You won't believe it that gradually this year, 2022, the fourth quarter is already gone. The fourth quarter is already gone. How well is God been doing great things among us? It's been so wonderful. It's been so marvelous. It's been so faithful. When did we start in 2021? When we said Happy New Year? Hey, it's another thing because many that started the year with us, many are not here again. Uh, we want to just use this time to say thanks to the Almighty God for His preservation, for His love, for His uh, uh, benevolent mercy upon us. We want to say thank you. And if you're watching me from, I don't know where you're watching me from, please try to put an E across. Let me see, let me know where you are joining me from. Let me know where you're joining me from. I will appreciate it and I would love to know where you're joining from. And as I always want my broadcast to be, I always want it to be interactive. If you will help me, give me hints. Nobody is an island of wisdom. What I think I know, you don't know it. What you think I know, I might not even know it. So because of that, let me know from you and know what your opinions are and know what your contributions are. Today's topic is actually climbing the ladder of greatness. The ladder of greatness. We want to explore into this. What kind of ladder are we taking? Because if we go into what are the structures of a ladder, we might not get out of here. And if you want to see how well ladders are created, why ladders, we will go out of this. We won't go out of this topic. But the actual fact remains that ladder help us to be able to reach that level that we are able to reach naturally and structurally. It's a tool to climb to a level. It's a tool to be able to achieve a certain goal. If you want to construct a roof panel of a house, you need a ladder. And at the end of the day, you say, "Oh, I achieved the ladder. I achieved the roof, construction of the roof." So help me to join me to tell your friends, tell someone that the important identity is on life. Life. I love it when it is life. Life brings us close to each other. We have better rapport. We are able to see who we are. There's no fake. There is no. We are real. We are authentic when social media platforms that you can follow me. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube channel, The Esteemed Woman. Follow me on TikTok, Coach Bosede. Just put in my name, you will see Bosede Identity, and you will actually see the fact that I am on TikTok. My TikTok is more of relaxation and at the same time achieve the goal of esteeming you, giving value to your purpose. So check me out, follow me, send people to me, send referrals to me, and together we climb this ladder all together. So at this point, we are like 5 minutes into our time. So at this time, I want us to start afresh. When you get to the line, please let me see your contributions. Let me see your contributions. Let me see your opinions. Let's see what you have for us and other things that you questions and there can be questions. Please let me see whatever that you want to talk about or the what as the topic goes on. If you have any contribution, please put it forward. As with the topic, climbing the ladder of greatness, we want to know what is greatness. Greatness is that quality or state of being great. Greatness is, when you are at the point of being great, is this the size of something that is in existence, but you are having this vision to make that size to be better and to be brighter and to be greater. Just like the weakness of one, you want to use your skill to perfect and get over, move beyond the weakness of the other. You may use the size of a thing or your skill to become greater. You can, or your achievement or your power. It's a state of being great. You have this mindset of, oh, I want to change the life of weak people, like widows, like seniors, like special needs people. You want to that there have been so many companies, organizations, or people that are doing this already, but you want to do better. That is the level of greatness you want to put into it. And to be great is the ability or intensity, the ability, that's the skill you have, or the intensity, the effort you put into achieving that thing in a better, and better, not better than average, better level than the average, better level than the normal. Do you have a skill? Do you have effort? Do you have a better quality of a particular item or a particular product or a particular project? You have a better understanding of it, then you want to achieve the greater part of it. You want to show to the world that even though there are so many visions that are similar to mine, I want to do mine in this level and level and level. That is a special ability. And that is what is called the intensity of the effort that you are putting into it. When the word greatness or to be great or being great, it relates to when you're talking about the repute or reputation of a particular product or a particular person. The repute is the same thing level of greatness. But what we're going to go into today is the ladder. Why do we need to get to that level of prominence? Why do we need to go into that level where of achieving greatness? It's all because God desires it. God doesn't the level of creation that God did, He wants us to perfect. Even though the level of perfection, we might not be able to achieve it by our own volition, but at the same time, He wants us to come back to Him for more wisdom. He wants us to come back to Him for more investing spirit, for us to be greater and for us to stand out. If I want to let you know that the desire of God for His children is for us to be great. That is the desire of God. And I can cite so many biblical injunctions at this point. Every assignment or every gift God that God has given you, it has God's intention for it to be great. And not only to be great, but for you to form a legacy out of that great condition or great product. For an example, at the inception of creation, you want to believe, you want to have it with me that in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, when God created man, after the creation, He blessed them. After the creation, He declared unto them that man will multiply, that man will subdue, that man will have dominion, that man will have power over all other creations that He has done before even the creation of man. So God doesn't want to create us, didn't have the intention of creating us and make and have us redundant. No. He said God blessed them and said to be fruitful and multiply. Fill the whole earth. Again, in the book of Genesis, the same Genesis chapter 18, verse 17 to 18, where He was talking about Abraham, where He was planning to make Abraham great. Therefore, we see in this place that God has that power to make everyone great. The only thing is, we might not know the steps to take. We might not know the effort to take. We might shy away from what God has is for us. So there's this another chapter in the Bible, I believe Matthew chapter 18, verse 1 to 4. That was where He was asking, the disciples were asking, who then is the greatest in the kingdom? Who's the greatest? And that makes me to go into another topic, but that the answer of Jesus at that time, that who is the greatest, makes me to go into the elements that are inherent in greatness. The elements. At that point in time, God gave them the answer. But before I go into the answer, I want us to know that Jesus' answer is a replica of the ladder. The level that we have to take, the level that we have to pursue in order to get to that greatness. And at this point, I want us to know that when God is giving us an assignment, when God has granted us gifts for us to use in this land of the living, for us to explore in this land of the living, then why are we redundant? Why are we stagnant? Why are we allowing this reason or that reason to becloud the original purpose of God? The original purpose of God is for us to be what? To be great. Even it got to a woman in the Bible, in the book of Matthew. In the book of Matthew, it makes you to know that this woman, the mother of the son of the Zebedee, she took her children, her sons to Jesus. This is a desire. Every one of us have that desire to be above others. But can we do what others are doing? Or even if others are not doing anything, can we do what it takes? Many visions go into oblivion all because there was no interactive action. If I ask all of us now that, oh, what is your vision? What do you have in mind pursuing? Many of us, we have endless lists. But if I have to ask another question that, what are the efforts that you are putting together for you to be able to achieve these goals? Many are stagnant at a point because they will never know that, oh, I've started doing it, but because of this problem, but because of that problem, but because I don't have help, I don't have nobody. All these are entitlement spirits. What are the efforts that you'll be using or you put into action before it will get to help? You're supposed to have gotten some books. You're supposed to have gotten some heavy loads. But before you have a heavy load, you're supposed to have gotten smaller loads that you are taking or carrying by your own effort. It is this smaller load that you will now show to whoever that's going to be the help or the helper. That, oh, you know what? I have this vision. I've been doing this and this and this and this. But it got to this level that I needed to carry this extra luggage or extra load, but I couldn't. I need a helping hand. It is that load that you have needed helping hands for, not the addiction. The vision will be later and die if no effort is put into place. And unfortunately, many of us look into the aspect of money financial. Money is never the first problem for any vision to thrive. Money is never the first. I have a lot and series of training on this. I have a lot of training. So I want to give us some elements for greatness before we now start to get into the ladder. Some elements of greatness. We need to know that to become great is not the same thing as counting how much is in your account. It's never the same thing. It's never the same thing. Because Jesus gave us this blueprint. He said in his word that whoever desires to become great among you, let him be a servant. In this context, God in the person of Jesus is not praying that we become servants to others. No. The meaning of this is the likeness of a servant. A servant seems to be humble. A servant seems to be His name is righteous. His middle name is righteous. Even if he has a last name, it is righteous. And it's the same person that has to drink from the cup of sinners and has to be beaten and lashed and committed to die on the cross. Can you? That's a big picture of the ladder. That's a big picture. But I'm not taking you on the level of preaching at this point. I want to relate with you. I want to relate with your visions. I want to relate with your businesses so that you will be able to stand out, so that you will be able to have merit, so that your vision will be worth of that word. I want to be on the same. I want to emphasize with you. So the word humility, the word closeness to the master, the word action of listening and receiving instructions, this is all embedded in the element of greatness. And I want to start a note of warning that greatness is never a get rich quick pedestal at all. When you're talking about greatness, I know many of us will be like, oh, she wants to teach me on how to get rich. Yes, if you follow the system, if you follow the pattern, you will be successful. You will be great. But if you have the mindset that, oh, maybe she's going to promise giving us money, maybe she's going to send money to me, or maybe she's going to tell me how I'm going to get rich quick. That's the kind of money I want to give us to every one of you, that it is great to become great in life without purpose of business. It is never a get rich quick pedestal. And anything that looks or sounds like get rich, please you need to run away from it. If there's any promise from anyone or a program says free, mind you, if you get to the end of that program, you will still get something to buy. Greatness is never, the ladder of greatness will not give you that rich quickly. And again, one of the elements of greatness is to let you know that greatness can either be earned or inherited, or both. It can be earned, it can be inherited, or it can just come. A mixture of the two. It can be earned in the level of someone like me. I didn't come from a wealthy family. At the same time, my family are not reckoned. So we work hard to earn what we have. So as we are the great thing is we are not where we used to be. Even though we're still having the journey, we are still on the journey. We are not where we used to be. What we have achieved at this level is worthy to be grateful for. So greatness, if you're walking towards climbing that ladder, make sure you know that you are not going, you are putting some effort into it, and you are going to put some actions into it as well. And it is either earned or inherited. Just like a prince or princess, the effort for him or her to be great in life will not be as much as the person that didn't come from a affluent or influential family. Then another element is for you to know that foundational strata of greatness is the mixture of commitment and what? And patience. These two, the combination of these two now rests upon the strata of time. If you are committed, you don't tell me that you are committed with that vision if you are just starting yesterday. You're not going to convince me that, oh, I've been on this project, I've been on this vision for the past 6 months, but I don't know, it's not even working, it's not even giving me the profit yet. That shows you have no patience. You have no patience. All these two elements, these two strata is resting on time. We want to evaluate you on how long. And mind you, if your greatness has the background of inheritance, the time factor will be reduced compared to earned greatness. Then I want to let you know that the driving force, another element is for a greatness, is for a project to become great, or for a vision to become great. The driving force, I call it the driving to thrive. THRIVING. The driving force for greatness is what is people. At this point, I'm giving you like 6 different elements. 6 different elements. The driving force of greatness is people. And why did I say people? It's all because when God creates man, He didn't create man in isolation. Even before He came into picture, Adam was this. He was not isolated. He has other creatures at his disposal. And if you want to be great in life, you cannot walk in isolation. If you are the type that wants to be me, myself, and I want to plead. I want to plead. Please change the mindset. Change the mindset. And try. You can get help in order to break this force. It's a force, I call it force. It's a force because it's like a fence that you have built around you. It's like a wall that you have built around yourself. I want to build myself. I don't want to be disappointed. Man, people cannot be perfect, yes? And because of that, you want to live in sorrow. It's not done. Wake up. It's never done. Some people's greatness is 0. I can vouch for that. Steve Jobs has the idea of Apple. He called his friend. I think he called his friend to sell this idea to him or with him. And with that, they put their efforts together. And at the point in time, they have to ask people. 2 of them could not even take Apple to where it is today. So who are you? Even when God was about to create, He said, to create man, He said, let us. Let us. Don't ask me who God called. The word of God says, let us. Let us create man in my own image. Let us. So how do you bring forth a baby by yourself? And you nurse the baby by yourself. You take the baby, you take him or her through school, it's not done. If you are a hater of people, it's going to be difficult for you to achieve greatness. Talk less of having anything called what? Called legacy. called legacy. So now those are the elements. If you are yet to understand any of these six elements, I pray you don't even need to be on this platform. You just needed restoration or revamping of your mindset. And that can be done in so many areas. But if you believe that you agree with all these elements, greatness it requires servanthood heart. Greatness requires commitment and patience. The combination of commitment and patience. Greatness is not a get rich quick condition or platform. And if anyone is planning or is talking you into, oh, like when we do this business, when we start to do this business in the next 3 weeks, in the next 4 weeks, and it's not telling you all the effort that you have to put into it, and that person is digging a hole that you are about to enter. So greatness can only thrive amongst people. Don't be an island and stop being one. So now the subtitle of this topic, climbing the ladder of greatness. We want to explore some principles that support visions and life purposes in order for it to become a legacy. Now we want to go to the aspect of principles. What is principle? Why is principle needed to become great? What are the levels at which principles can operate? All these are the next level of what we're going to discuss at this point in time. And I would love at this point that you call and text any of your friends, send this link onto someone so that someone will be benefited from this. My name again is Bosedi Adetuji. I'm certified life and leadership coach. I offer books. I have books on my website that can be of added advantage for you. I convey the esteemed woman right in America, in US, and also in Africa, Nigeria. And if God is putting it upon your heart to be one of our coordinators in your city or in your community, you can come onto us to let us know your vision. Then you go through what we call the training of coordinators. Then at this point, please help me to subscribe, share this platform, follow me on YouTube channel, The Esteemed Woman. My name too will be on the channel. I'm also on Instagram pages. I have 2 accounts on Instagram as my name, The Esteemed with Bosede, and also The Esteemed Woman. I also have TikTok. TikTok is so lively. Join me on TikTok. Let's chat. Let's laugh together, and let's have fun together. The grace of God. If you need or you know somebody needs to be mentored, direct them to me. And I'm also an entrepreneur. I sell books. I do CPR, and I'm an entrepreneur. So let's go back on climbing the ladder of greatness. At this point, we want to explore the principles that will help us to attain or climb that ladder successfully. Because the principle, there are some, even the creation of the earth was created with principles. And it is high time we start to work within principles. Principles are already QED. They are already tested. They are already certified. They are already working. Principles. my book. I'm just looking around to see if I have that book around. The book is called Leader's Ladder with Read. Read is R-E-D. Actually, it's an acronym of some of the topics in the book. So it's actually the book covers some proven principles of leadership. I just want to pull out the part of principle. And in that book, I believe from page 26 to page 30, that was the portion where I explore what principle is, how does principle work, why do we need principles, and how long can principle thrive. Principle can be faulty or faulted by another bigger principle. That's just it. It doesn't matter what the principle is. And it's not that the principle is not working. It's only that there is inventions and people create more, grow more. So principles also grow. So for any of the principles that I might mention now to be violated or to be voided, it has to be voided by another similar bigger principle. So principles are moral and basic beliefs that help you to know the right from the wrong. That's just the preliminary definition. Principles are moral or basic beliefs that help you to know your right from your wrong. It's also the basic truth or theory or an idea. I want to repeat that. It's also truth, basic truth, idea or theory that forms the basis of something. Again, we can define principle as a law or fact of nature. Law or fact of nature that explains how something works or why something happens. How something works or why it happens. Just there are some common principles that I can mention at this point. If you care to know much more about principles, purchase one of my books. You will get it on my website, bostedeadetuji.com. Adetuji.com. You will get my books there, and it will lead you to where the books are stored. Some of the principles, examples of principle is the principle of gravity. It says everything that goes up must come down. It's not only that something that is thrown up has to come down. Even if your emotions are up, it's bound to come down. Even if you have a problem now, whether you like it or not, the tension will come down. That's a principle. It's about principle of life and principle of objects. It doesn't matter where you are applying it to. Its application is all round. All right. There's principle of giving. The more you give, the more you get. This is substantial with Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1. The more you give, the more you get. Whether you like it or not, if you decide not to give, it's all left for you. And if you decide to give, bad thing will come unto you. That leads me to another principle, that principle of karma. If you sow, whatever goes around, comes around. It goes around and comes. God has said that it just goes around and comes around. This time around, when it goes around and comes around, it stays. It stays. Because it must have consequence when it comes around. I'm sorry to have this like a funny thing. So that's the principle of karma, principle of giving, principle of gravity. Whatever goes up comes down. There's the way you wanted to be treated. If you want to be to if you want other people to appreciate you, appreciate everybody around you. If you want people to respect you, respect others as well. If you want people to love you, love people irrespective of love. Bible says it. Love, love. There's principle of timeliness. Make hay while the sun shines. There's principle of what again? Principle of reality. The way you lay your bed is the way you sleep on it. There's so many trillions and trillions of principles that is applicable. Why some things happen and how it happens, how something works and why it happens. So all those are the principles. But as it relates now, the principles that in all of this level to that brings me to you now is the principle of greatness. Part of the principle I've mentioned it earlier on as the element. So, but I don't want the principles, the one principle not to be a huge thing on our heart. And I don't want you to show as if you are in a classroom. You know, you want to excuse me. Or to make you think that you want to do an exam. No, I would like to relate most of the points with this of a familiar person. I mean, two familiar people in the scripture, Ruth and Esther. I'm not going to read the Bible today, but I want to just relate the principles. Those principles that I've just mentioned and the elements, how it relates to Esther. Now, I cannot bring it back to ourselves. And while we're doing that, please bring your pen and papers around. If you are not be writing anything, that means we're going to come back to listen to this message again, to this broadcast again. Greatness in the Bible was never determined by how much, I think I said it before, how much someone has or how much influence or power that person has. Greatness is more of serving. And serving is like humility. You have to be humble. So in the pursuit of greatness, I want to emphasize at this point that woman, about Ruth, I want to relate it to Ruth and Esther. We all know the story of Ruth. Ruth was one of the wives married at Moab by the sons of Naomi. We know Naomi to be that woman whose husband died and the two sons died while they were sojourning in Moab because of sustenance, means of sustenance. There was famine in their nation, and they had to travel out for sustenance. Bible says because of bread. They went to Moab. I'm sorry because of my voice. It's like I needed to be sipping water. So that's the story of Ruth. That's the background information about Ruth. She was one of the wives of the sons of Naomi. She went through pain of loss. She went through pain of lack. And at the same time, but she held onto her faith and the vow she made to her husband, the deceased husband. She held onto her faith and her vow. And because of her nature, loving person, she she decided to follow Naomi back to her own city, back to her own nation, her own country. Because it was apparent at that time that this woman was old already. This woman has some children again. She has no one to take care of her. But Naomi proposed within her mind to follow as against her mistress offer. Notwithstanding, we are facing Ruth. So she stayed, and eventually the story goes forth that because of her faith and her decision, she decided to follow Naomi. And the end of it, God's favor, encountered God's favor. And the story ended with celebration that not only does she have a son to Obed, but she became a genealogy of Jesus Christ. That's the summary. And Ruth, on the other side, on the other hand, rather, Esther, on the other side, also have the privilege to go to another nation. She was a refugee in another nation. She was also an orphan, being taken care by her uncle. So at a point in time, the uncle advised her to be part of the ladies that will be selected as the queen, because apparently the queenship position was open. I'm not going to that aspect, but she faced at that point in time she faced the issue of life and death, because there was a problem wallowing over our people, the Jews, and she's now in the palace. So she now made up her mind. She made up her mind and made that decision to have encounter with God and make decision that of which the decision became a celebration of restoration of life that was purposely about to be terminated. So she gave hope. She became a savior to her nation. So now the aspect of the greatness is, at this point, we want to believe, as many of us that know the story of these two people, we want to believe that both have their life purposes. They both have their life purposes. And these life purposes are written in as books in the Bible. When we want to open we say go to the book of their life story. Their life purpose became a book that me and you are reading today. It became a book of restoration, a book of hope, a book of survival, a book of self-esteem, a book of many levels of oppression that affect human life, and that makes it become a legacy, both of them. But and we want to believe that both of them are in foreign lands. Both of them are in foreign lands. And both of them are, I would say, orphans. I don't know. The Bible didn't tell us about the parents of Ruth, but at the same time, Bible didn't mention as much about her background. So because our parents were not mentioned, I want to take it to be offered. Okay, both of them lost what? They are both in foreign lands. They both lost loved ones. They both fear God and the operation of God, and they abide with God. That irrespective of what is going to happen, I will abide with God. Both of them started their life purposes with absolutely nothing, absolutely uh, no savings, I would say. They both don't have any resources to run into when they are working on their life purposes. But both of them had only one person that stood with them individually. The only person that remained with them. They both have one. As in the case of Esther, it was her uncle. As in the case of Ruth, it was her mother-in-law. They only have one mentor. They only have a life coach with them. They only have one spot of instruction. If you, in essence, all these that I'm saying that relates the two of them together makes us to know the fact that if you want to carry or climb, if you want to be approved of that level of high standing with our purposes, we don't need to run a skater in order to get a fast. Does it mean that this one person that remains with them doesn't have their flaws? Does it mean they don't have their weaknesses? Does it mean Naomi and Mordecai doesn't have any weaknesses that will make all these ladies to stick to them? They do, because they are human beings. So in order for you to be able to climb that ladder successfully, you need them to be focused. If you're thinking of having a mentor or a coach, focus. Just like my spiritual father would say that, oh, you have that, you have Pastor A as your spiritual father, you have Pastor C as your Reverend C as your spiritual father, you have Bishop D as your spiritual father. Aren't you already confused? How can you be a son to three fathers? And that is where that is the point I want to pull out of it. They only have one person, and they listen to this one person, and they obey instructions from this one person. I believe you're following me. They were both on foreign land. They were both orphans. They are both having life purposes written in books. They started their life purposes with absolutely nothing. They have their life coaches, their mentors, their instructors, and just one person. They both display humility and commitment. Do you remember the other time that I was saying that functional structure of greatness is commitment and patience? Did you see now that it comes up here at the same time? Ruth and Esther, they were committed to the instructions given to them. They were committed to the lifestyle of their coach in the name of Naomi and Mordecai. They are committed, they are humble to the core. Even when the pressure was so high on Esther, that when her uncle sent information to her that the life of Jews are in danger, if you think you are in the palace and you don't want to do anything, you don't want to stand for this cause of saving the life, then God will create another way. She listened. There was pressure from us. There was pressure for her life because it was not yet for her to go straight to the king to seek for support. But they were both all. At the time of Naomi said, go back to your family. There's nothing I can offer you again. She was humble. She was committed to this woman. She said, go, I will go. Your God shall be my God. How many of us? journey of greatness can get to that point that some people will be criticizing your spiritual father or your mentor or your coach, and you easily forget that these people are also human beings like you that have a lot of weaknesses. A lot of weaknesses. And let me find a note of warning that when even after God has cut off, has torn down the kingdom of Saul, the king, it took 20 years. It still reigned 20 years after that declaration, after that condition, after that anger from God to him. He reigned. He was in power. He was in place of authority for another 20 years. So in essence, you want to tell me that those 20 years were torment? There was still seed of that kingship upon his life. And at the same time, preparing David anyway. It took 20 years. Both of them passed through and you shall lack. Both of them lost their loved ones, even while they are pursuing their life purpose. Both of them waited with positive attitudes. They waited with positive minds, even in their lowly place, in their lowly condition, before favor fell upon them, before help came. Both of them were transformed. They now became great queens. They became great mother of Jesus, of the line of Jesus. They became great. We are still reading about them till eternity. And having said all this, the principle in this is so huge. The principle in this is so huge that our friends, I will just run through. I will just run through the principles that came out between Ruth and all these that I just mentioned. They are part of the principle of humility, principle of patience, principle of waiting, principle of hearing and standing by instruction, principle of life purpose, principle that overshadows past background of lack. So in order for us to climb that ladder of greatness successfully, there must be this principle of agreement. When you have an instruction, when you have a template of what to do, you must be able to agree. There should be agreement between you and your mentor. There should be agreement between you and that book. Believe in that book that you're reading. Believe in the points that are written in there and the steps. Go along with the steps and the conditions. All of us are in the classroom. You are in school, and you listen to your teacher teaching you, your instructor, talking to read, to study. And during the exam, you just want to write your own. During the exam, you don't want to write all, you don't want to give the answer as the instructor gave you, and you want to. It's not done. As it is in the physical, so it is in the spiritual. Agree. If you don't have agreement, even with that vision you have, if you don't agree that that vision belongs to you, if you don't believe that that vision is for you to explore, if you don't believe that that vision, some people are awaiting your manifestation, then you won't go anywhere. The principle of agreement. The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 3 says, there can be no association without the agreement of two. Can two be together without the two of them agree? No. Avoid entitlement mentality. entitlement mentality it starts with complaints. Avoid it. Avoid it. Then there is another principle of timing. Everyone has a time attached to their greatness. Everyone. All those visions have time to rise. Have time for the incubation. Have time for it to be birthed. Have time for every gift. Have time for its manifestation, for its greatness. Everything has time. Time and chance is there for every gift. I will say, do not hold back your time. Please be at alert. Don't hold back when your time comes. And don't move before your time. The aspect of getting quick is moving before your time. Don't move before your time. Let your vision rise. Let your vision rise because you written it down. Even if you are not there, people around you will run it. Will run with it. That says the word of God, and it's always here and amen. Don't run before your time, because you will be disqualified. Don't stand still when your time comes, because you already getting your results. Then another principle is principle of excellency. If you want to go beyond the norm, if you want your vision to go beyond the average, you need to empower yourself with excellency power, excellency mindset. Don't do it as others are doing it. Seek for wisdom to excel them all. This is the wisdom Daniel was granted. He was given that wisdom that surpasses his generation. That is the wisdom that the Bible says we should ask. We lack it. Lord God Almighty, you have granted me the vision to help women to overcome obstacles. But these obstacles are so much. Everywhere in life have obstacles. Father, Lord God, per time, grant me wisdom. Per individual, grant me wisdom. Whatever the obstacle that comes my way, Father, grant me wisdom to overcome them. That's when the excellent power will reign. People will just be like, oh, that sister, she went through the same thing that Sister C had. But the way she overcame her own, can it be applied? That is called excellent power. Spirit of excellency is needed in order for us to climb that ladder of greatness. That ladder unto greatness is in twofold. There's a ladder to greatness. There's a ladder with greatness. So this last one, because of our time, because I have 10 principles, but I want to use this last one. I want to bring this last one, is the principle of access. Do you know one thing, that it's only the people that have the key that enters the house? However, the gate might be so huge, might be so wide, might be so mighty. You cannot enter that gate by your power, just banging, or because you develop muscles and you think you can enter that gate. It is easier when you have access key. It is easier when you have access code to that gate. Accessibility is given to you when you have codes. Before you can be authenticated to enter into the realm of greatness, you needed the code. Code in the form of key, in the form of power, in the form of authority. And how do you get this key? There are so numerous places and levels that you can get this key. It depends on your level of operation. Yeah, it depends on your level of operation. In the spiritual level, if your gift is more of spiritual, you needed a mentor that is spiritual minded. You needed men of God that are found in the doctrine to follow. You needed that so that the grace of accessibility will come unto you. When you have the key, it brings your life to turn around into a life of favor. When you have the key, you have the access. You don't lavish, you don't sweat. You don't sweat to achieve greatness. And this is the role of life coach. The mentor you can be a mentee under anybody. Without the person knowing that you are mentee him or her. But when it becomes the level of coach, the coach already knows who you are. He or she is walking along with that vision. He bringing this because the coach has been in that position before. He or she knows what to do part time. And at each time, he knows the right time to bring in the right help. He or she knows how to bring, to get the links onto you. He or she knows the time to stand in gap for you. He or she knows the time to bring you, hold your hand, and enter the house with anything. That is your key. That is your key. So, if you want to really make that greatness of your vision to thrive and become legacy, all these principles, please I beseech you that you work on it. Be diligent at working with these principles. Be diligent at making sure that you don't override all these principles. And be diligent, I say it again, that you don't offshoot or overshoot or sidetrack any of these principles. And it depends on the level of your operation that will determine which principle that you have to use at time. So I don't want to overflow this. If you really need help to know other parts of this principle, and after this, I'm planning a webinar. If you desire to be part of the webinar, I will say, because at this level of the webinar, I'm going to be able to give you the tips to greatness. I'm going to be able to teach you one-on-one. Teach you on one-on-one. It's a webinar, it's a form of presentation that we're going to be talking one after simultaneously with each other. You'll be seeing me and I will be seeing you. Unlike now that this is just live broadcast, that many people are online and there's no personal touch in this. But in that webinar, if you are interested, please inbox me or email me. Inbox me or email me. Facebook Messenger, you can inbox me from there, and you can email me at theesteemedwoman@gmail.com. theesteemedwoman@gmail.com or lilyinitsense@ymail.com. Both ways, I will respond to you as quickly as possible. There are some tips to greatness, and these ones are in depth. These tips are in depth. We are likely going to put some things into shape, asking a particular question solving certain uh, certain question concerning that particular vision that you have. That will be part of what I will do as bonus for that webinar. And the webinar is not going to be announced publicly. It's not. But when you watch this, you watch it again because I'm going to still be able to ask you one or two questions about this because this is the basic part of becoming great and making your greatness become a legacy. This is the basic part, and that is why it comes to you as a life teaching. But if you really want to be part of the webinar or great tips for greatness, then you contact me. It is only those that contact me that I'm going to set for this meeting and teaching. At this point in time, I want to appreciate as many of you that takes it all this while. This is really over 1 hour teaching. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your effort. And I really appreciate you subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe now. Subscribe now. It's an advantage that anytime I'm coming up, easily see the notification. Subscribe and click the notification button. And this is the only avenue that I have to be a teacher and to be able to put out my mind to everybody. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Esteemed Woman, also the Adetuji, Lily in His Hand, and follow me on Facebook, The Esteemed Woman. It's together, or The Esteemed Lily in His Hand. Either of the two, I will see you and I will confirm you as a friend. And also on Instagram page, I'm also called the Esteemed Woman. And also there's this TikTok. Let's TikTok with ourselves and let's have fun together. On this note, I want to end this. My name again is Bose Adetuji, the convener of the Esteemed Woman. I'm also an author and I'm life and leadership coach certified. And again, we shall meet again in peace and love. Next Saturday is another day for another topic. God bless you and I appreciate you. Have a wonderful and beautiful time. Bye bye.